Hello friends, welcome to Salesforce Cinematics video session 50. So basically in today's video, we will just continue the compute expression part which we were doing earlier. So first of all, let me first explain the results which I got. Okay. So in our last video, for some reason, I was not able to show you the results. Okay. So firstly, let me show you the results. And after that, we will be doing a few more compute expression. Uh, we will play around with the compute expression node. Okay. Yeah, and this was that. Okay. Now, if I go to data manager and if I go to manage data flow, let me go to data flow and recipe. So let me go to data flow. We were doing this free session 6, right? Now over here, what were the fields? We got this current date. These were the things which we did, right? So firstly, let me come over here. That is derived field data set. Okay. Let me just open this. I think it's already over here. Cool. Now let me quickly come back to the values table. Now guys, over here, what I will do is whatever things I created, right? Let me just bring those fields. So I had current date, which will show you today's date. Okay. So let me click on this pencil button and show selected. Let this be there. That's fine. Let me deselect and let me pull in the mm, okay. Click on apply and let me pull in the current date. Okay. So this is my current date. Now this is showing 10:10, okay, because that day I ran it. If I run it today, it will show me 14:10. That's completely fine. But on 10th, I had created the data flow. So that's why it's showing 10:10. After that, I didn't run. Okay. Or let's do one thing. Let's kind of quickly run this. That's completely fine. So let me just quickly run this because it's current date. We have to see the current date itself. Okay. So yeah, let me just quickly run this once. Now, as you can see, this ran successfully. Let me quickly again refresh once. Okay, let me go to values table. And over here, what I will do is, as you can see here, it's showing me 14:10. That is today's date. Okay, that's the first thing. And after that, let me check the second one. This is last four character of ID. Fine. So let me first bring the ID. Okay. And let me then bring the last four character of ID. As you can clearly see over here, this last four character is something which you see over here. Similarly for this one as well, right? And that's great. Now, presence of lead source. If the lead source is not null, then yes. Okay, so first of all, what I will do is I will bring the lead source, okay? And presence of lead source, let me bring this to. So as you can see here, if there is lead source, it's showing me yes. But if the lead source is, let's say, blank, it would have shown me no. What I can do is I can put a filter over here. Okay, where I will write lead source. Let's say it's not null. Yeah, it's null. Okay. And as you can see, whenever the lead source is null, it's showing me no. Otherwise, it's showing me yes if the lead source is there. Okay, that's the next thing. Then what's the next part? We have the stage classification. So first of all, let me bring the stage and let me bring the stage classification. And as you can see here, like if it is closed one and closed loss, it's showing me closed stage, right? It's showing me closed stage here. If it is other than closed loss and closed stage, here also for closed loss is showing me closed stage, closed one. So other than closed one and closed loss is showing me open stage, okay? Which is matching as well. That's great. And then we have name and type. So here, firstly, let me bring the name and type. And I think I have to bring the type as well, okay? So let me bring the type as well, okay? And let me rearrange this. So as you can see here, like the name as well as the type, it's getting added over here in this manner, okay, which is the thing which I wanted. So this is something I missed in my previous session, and I just wanted to explain you quickly before moving to the next part. So that is the whole thing. And what I will do is this one, I will just save it as, let me just save this lens as derived field so that I don't have to open this all the time. Okay, let me save it as derived field. And now let's continue from here. Okay, so this was the last character of ID. Let's say I want the first 15 character of ID. Okay, so let's say I want the first 15 character of ID. Okay, what I'm going to do is, as we already learned last time, I will have this substr, the substring. Okay, and I will write here from 1 till 15th position if I want to take. Okay, so basically this ID I will be taking from 1 till 15th position. So that first 15 character of ID will be shown. In the last four, what I did, I just took the 15, like from 15th position is showing me all the IDs, right? Like we were discussing this one. When I'm giving 115 from the first position, what it will take and where till where it will end, it will end till the 15th position. Okay, that's the meaning of ID comma 1 comma 15. It will start from that position where it has to set. Had I mentioned, let's say 15, it would have started from the 15th position, continue till whatever digits were present. But when I'm mentioning first, it will start from first. And if I give the ending position, like in this case, I gave the ending position, right? Here I'm giving the ending position as well. So it will give me the first 15 character of the ID. Okay. So let me save this. Now let's do one more interesting stuff, which is, let's say I have this fill amount. Okay. I have this fill amount. Now let's say if it is 0, I will write something like 0 amount. Okay. And let's say if it belongs from 0 to, let's say 50,000, fine. Then I'm going to write low amount. Okay. And let's say if it is lies between 50,000 till 1 lakh. Okay. Then I will mention it as high amount. Fine. Let's make it as 10,000, and this one, let's make it as 10,000 till 50,000. Okay. For 50,000, I will mention it as medium amount. Okay. And if it is from 50,000 till 1 lakh, then I will mention it as high amount. Okay. And let's see if my amount is more than 1 lakh. Okay, I will mention it as very high amount. Okay. So for this fill amount, if the amount is 0, I will write as 0 amount. If it is lying like it's between the 0 to 10,000, it should be low amount. If it is lying between 10,000 to 50,000, it should be medium amount. From 50,000 till 1 lakh, okay, it will be high amount. If it is more than 1 lakh, it has to be very high amount. This is the condition which I give. So what I'm going to do is I will create a new field and I will write something like amount bucket. Okay. Let me write something like amount bucket. Fine. So I will just write case when. So that field is amount, right? If amount, let's say equal to 0, then it will be, so this has to be in double quotation, and I will write something like 0 amount. Okay. When, again, I'm writing this condition when, and I will just copy this whole part and I will make some changes over here. Let me copy from when. Okay. Give me a minute. Let me copy from when. When amount is, let's say less than 10,000. When amount is less than 10,000, it will be low amount. Okay. When amount is, let me copy this. When, I missed that when part. When amount is less than 50,000, it has to be medium amount. Okay. And when amount is less than 1 lakh, then it is high amount, right? And finally, when amount is, or just let me write else. I don't need to mention this. Let me write else. I will write very high amount and I will write end. Okay. So what I'm writing is when amount equal to 0, then 0 amount. When amount is less than 10,000, then low amount. When amount less than 50,000, then medium amount. When amount less than 1 lakh, then high amount, is very high amount. And okay, that's the thing. And this is nothing but a textual part, which is fine. Let me click on save. Okay, that's it. Now let me just check this two as of now. Okay, let me update. And let me just quickly check if I haven't made any silly mistakes. So 15 character of ID substring I've taken over here, which is fine. SUB str. Okay. Then I have taken the amount bucket. Yes, when amount, this is fine. Okay. So let me run this data flow. Fine. And let me go to my data monitor. So in the meanwhile it runs, let me very quickly explain you what is the meaning of this. So this amount bucket, what I have written, see, I have written the range as 0. So for 0, it will show me 0 amount, which is fine. But after that, I have written less than 10,000. Now you might ask this question that you have mentioned the range as 0 to 10,000. Why it will show as low amount? Like why 0 won't be counted in the low amount, right? See, Einstein goes step by step over here. Okay. So at first is checking this condition. Now when this condition is matching, it will immediately put as 0 amount. Get this point, huh? After that, it will check the next condition. Now, because for 0, I've already put as 0 amount. When I'm mentioning less than 10,000, although that 0 lies less than 10,000, that's correct. However, because the 0 is already mapped as 0, so it will show me low amount. Like after 1, 2, 3, okay, if it is less than 10,000, it will show me low amount. Now, the next part is when the amount is less than 50,000, right? You might ask this question that even 50, 100, okay, 50, 100, like whatever, that is also less than 50,000. But 50, 100, whatever that value, that already has been mapped as low amount because Einstein is taking this condition, right? So whichever values are less than 10,000, that's already mapped as low amount. So after that, whichever will be higher than, like although it's mentioned less than 50,000, but because 999, okay, 800, all those are mapped as low amount. So after that, whichever is greater than 10,000, that will be mapped as medium amount till the range of 50,000. Even here also I'm mentioning less than 10, 1 lakh, right? So for this less than 1 lakh as well, what it will do is, okay. So what it will do, if it is less than 1 lakh, of course, if it is less than 40,000 is also less than 1 lakh. But for 40,000, Einstein already mapped as medium amount. That's why it will not again map as high amount if it is less than, if it is the values, let's say 40,000. So if it is 60,000, all those, it will map as high amount. Okay. And after that, I'm just giving the condition, like all this condition, if doesn't match, like if the amount is more than 1 lakh, then it has to be very high amount itself. Okay. And one more thing here, we are not putting any negative values. So you can avoid that because naturally in Salesforce for amount, you don't put negative values. Okay. So that is something which we are avoiding over here. Okay. That's one thing I wanted to mention. And now very quickly, let's check the monitor and let's see if it runs successfully or not. It ran successfully, right? So what I'm going to do is I will just refresh this lens because I already created a lens so that I don't have to recreate all the time. And very quickly, what I'm going to do is here, I will take again the first 15 character, right? So first 15 character of ID, I'm going to take over here. Okay. And this first 15 character of it, let me just put it over here. So now if we compare, see, this is your first 15 character, okay, which is being showed over here, which I showed you that first you put the first position from where you want to extract. And after that, you can put the end position. Earlier, we only put the first position for this last row character of ID. And now you can see the first 15 character is mentioned over here. Okay. Then the next field which we created is amount. So firstly, let me bring the amount and then again, let me bring the amount bucket. Okay. Now, if you see over here, you see 32,400, right? So 32,400 is coming as medium amount because it is less than 50,000. 32,000, 4,000, it will not show you as high amount, although it's less than 1 lakh. But as I told you, it's checking this condition first, then it's going to the next part. That's why it's shown as medium amount. Okay. Then if you see this 2 lakh, so it is more than 1 lakh. That's why it's showing you very high amount, isn't it? I mean, that's how it's going about. If you see, okay, high amount, you see it's more than 50,000. So because it is less than 1 lakh, that's why it's showing as high amount. Okay. And yeah, that's how it's continuous. So I hope you understood this logic. There's a different way to write this logic, which we will check in our next session maybe. But for this part amount, which I just did the classification, okay, for amount bucket, this is how I put it and this is how I have written it. So Einstein goes step by step and checks the condition. Fine. So yeah, that's it about this video. Please do definitely like, share and subscribe. And yeah, let's meet very soon in our next video. Thank you all.